folks, and welcome back to GBL, the Old Church 5-acre homestead. Mr. Devin and I are getting ready to plant our store-bought potato seeds. That's correct. We bought potatoes from a local big box store here in Gander, Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada, and we chitted them out. We cut them a few days ago, and we're getting ready now to plant them here in our beds. You can watch us and follow along. Okay, so Devin just made a trench in our bed right there. We're going to first put down a layer of this seaweed right here in this tote. Seaweed that was collected from a beach close to the old church a little while ago. And we're going to be using that for a natural fertilizer in our potato beds this morning. It's not very warm today. It's only like 3 degrees, which is around 36, 37 degrees Fahrenheit, I do believe. Not a warm morning at all, but a good morning to plant potatoes. Okay, so now we got seaweed down there. We're going to put the eyes first. So the eyes next. Devin has some fertilizer ready. So we're placing our potato seeds, our eyes, our chits, about 6 inches apart, folks, and we're going to be putting some 6-12-12 between each eye. Not a lot, just a small bit like Devin is doing right here. And we'll be continuing this process until this bed is finished, and that second bed over there is finished, and 2 more on the end on the other side of the greenhouse. We have all of these potato eyes to plant this morning. Here we go. Now another layer of seaweed on top of that, and then we're going to cover it over with the soil. Lots of natural fertilizer, folks, the seaweed. Plus the 6-12-12 from this bag right here. Okay, that looks pretty good, Devin. Yep. Now, like I said, we're going to continue this process until we're done. Okay, we are at the last drill in this potato bed, folks, putting down a layer of seaweed, then the eyes, then the fertilizer, and then another layer of seaweed before we cover them up. And this bed here will be done with 3 more to go today. Devin is spacing the eyes out of around 6 inches apart, with the chit facing up. That's important. Here we go. Now, I'll have to reach in there with a couple, Devin, so just give me a couple of eyes. Okay, I'll put one right there. And, okay, that's a nice one. It's got a couple of nice eyes on it, and a couple of nice chits. Here it goes in the ground. So the next step now, of course, is some fertilizer. Some 6-12-12 we're using this year. Okay, here's the last few here. Try to put your fertilizer between the eyes. Okay, so that's a good idea. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're ready to cover this one up and then move on to another bed. Okay, so this is the first bed, folks. I'm just leveling out the soil here now on top of this bed. Just spreading it out with a rake. Making sure it's all the soil is all kind of level. Then I'm going to go around and pat it down a little bit with the rake turned up on its end like this. Okay, bed number 1 of 4 beds. There you have it. We'll continue this process now 3 or 4 more times today, and we'll get our potatoes sowed in the ground today. Our store-bought potatoes. Okay, this is the second bed now, folks, and we're putting down some seaweed. This is a long drill right now. It's the last one in this second bed. It goes all the way up behind the greenhouse. So we're layering some seaweed, lots of seaweed. Then our eyes, of course, and some fertilizer and some more seaweed. Okay, so seaweed is all in. And let's put in some of these eyes now. I'll pass them to you. I'm gonna need about a dozen for sure. That's a long drill. That way. Again, as always, we place our potato eyes around 6 inches apart. That will all decompose, biodegrade, and it will add lots of nutrients to these potatoes. And if last year is any indication, we've got some huge potatoes out of this garden last year, and we should get more huge potatoes this year. Okay, we're just leveling off the soil, folks, in this second bed. You might want to bring some of that soil up there because I brought some of it down. Okay, just patting it down lightly. Great. In a couple of weeks' time, we should see some little sprouts coming up through to the soil here. We moved to the other side of the greenhouse, folks. We had the 2 beds down the other side, the right-hand side of the greenhouse, completed with potato seeds. And now we are doing these 2 beds right here with the remaining hives. We have about half left, so we're good. We're good. We're going to continue the process of seaweed, potato seeds and fertilizer, and more seaweed. And we'll get these potato beds done today. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna go on with those, get those in. If this side is any indication that it's the other side, we should have 13. Okay. of seaweed. Fertilizer first, of course. We are at the very, very last drill, folks, in our 4 beds of russet potatoes. Potato seeds that we bought at a local supermarket, and we chitted out, and then we cut them, and we're putting them down in the ground. Seaweed and potato seeds, fertilizer, and then more seaweed. Here we go. Okay. A little bit of seaweed. Now, let's shovel that over. Okay, gonna get Devin there now to shovel that dirt back over that last drill. And then we'll use the rake and we'll level it off, and then we'll have our potatoes in. We had enough eyes left, folks, to do a 5th bed of potatoes. So that's what we're at now. We're doing this bed that's up closest to the house here in the shade. This is going to be a bit of an experiment, actually. We're not sure if potatoes will grow in the shade or not. And we'll see throughout the summer what happens to these. Here we go. We're getting this bed done now. And this is the last drill here, folks, in our 5th bed. We're just covering over the seaweed there now. The eyes are already in. The fertilizer is already in. It's just a matter of bringing over the soil onto the fertilizer and the seaweed and covering everything all up. And then we'll just get the rake and we'll level it all off. And we'll have our potatoes in today. So far in our raised bed vegetable garden, we have our potatoes in. We have a couple of beds of carrots in. We have a couple of beds of onions in. That's it so far. Onions and carrots. And also we have our peas in too. We have 2 beds of peas right here in the center in these long narrow beds. So we have some sugar snap peas right there, carrots, 2 beds of onions, and now we have 5 beds of potatoes gone in today, folks. And that's how we do. That's how we sow potatoes here at GBL, the old church, 5 Acre Homestead. Hope you like this video. Hope you've been following the series, because this is going to be now episode 4 in how to chit, cut, and grow store-bought potatoes. We'll probably have one more video in this series, and that will be harvesting later on the fall in September, October. And we'll see how our harvest goes. Here we go. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for commenting. And of course, thank you for subscribing to our YouTube channel. And we are GBL, the old church, 5 Acre Homestead. You have a blessed Sunday. Enjoy the coming week, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye for now.